So hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you find the information in this video helpful and useful, and you may want to grab a tea for this one, because if you grab a coffee, you might have a lot of energy, and then it can probably make you feel a little bit weird when I tell you about these things. And if you wanted to help me out, you can share the link of the video with people that might find this information helpful or interesting or whatever. And also, I have created the Telegram group, which is on a trial basis. So it will be working between March, April, May, and June. And the cost will be $15, and the rules and how to join the group will be in the description down below. So if you know somebody that might want to join into that group, you can also send them the information. Now, in the group we will be talking about trading and things like this one, things that are important that you probably want to know about. And anyway, so there is research that supports the idea that, since physically speaking, matter can be defined into particles or waves. If something is a particle, it's not a wave. And if something is a wave, it's not a particle. Waves have the particularly thing that they can turn into particles, and when they are particles, it is harder for them to go into waves, but they can still do that. How do you transform matter then? Because everything that we do or touch or anything, it's energy. So energy that is no longer waves, it becomes solid. So it's what you touch, it's what you see. It's kind of like, when you find wood or tables or whatever that you can see and touch. Those are particles. Particles can also, not necessarily be seen, but you can feel them, like heat and other things. But they are kind of solid, so they are kind of like a group of things that are characteristics. They have certain characteristics in common. Waves, however, are different. Waves are, they can move through dimensions, and they can move through things, and waves actually respond to attention. Meaning, if you look at certain energies, and then you pay attention to them, they will react the way that you think that they will react. And so, then they become particles. However, it was proven when the researchers accidentally, they left the video on, but nobody was there, the waves reacted completely different. They were acting like if they were trying to form patterns that did not make sense at all. And these patterns were mathematical probability things, and they were not, they were not being influenced by things that we know influence matter. So basically, we have three things that influence energy and matter, which is sound, which is light, and then us, as in us, attention, consciousness, and stuff like that. Now, why is this important, and why am I mentioning this? Well, here's the deal. Light will react different with different kinds of particles and different kinds of wave. So what does that mean? Well, let's see. Right now we have two types of light bulbs, the ones that are normal and the ones that are LED. I know that there are more, but I'm just going to mention those two. So let's say that you have an energy bill of $50 and you want to lower your cost, so you change your light bulbs into LED kind of light bulbs. Now, the light that is emitted by the LED bulb, it has been proven that in the long term, it will change our metabolism. And it will change the things around that light, and it will make it slower. And not only that, but it will create health issues, very severe long-term health issues. Because if you alter the metabolism in our bodies, I don't need to tell you that you will get older and fat, and you will get sick way faster than if you were in the outside sun or something like that. And it will also determine the amount of light that you can also see later on. As in, it will affect your eyesight. So I don't need to tell you that you saving, let's say that the $50 bill with the regular light bulb, was taking a toll on you. I don't need to tell you that 10 years later, the five, let's say that you are saving half of the money, so you're saving $25 a month. Yeah, that's $25 a month that you're saving because you now have LED light bulbs all over your house, has costed you years of life that you are not going to get, because obviously if you are sick and you're older and you're getting, older faster and stuff like that, you're not getting that one back. And, the side bills, like the doctor for going to the eye doctor and getting more glasses and stuff like that, that is also expensive. And I don't need to tell you that if you are depressed and your metabolism is changing and your mood is changing because of the light, then you're probably going to lose social relationships, and you're probably also going to need more medication. So you saving that half of the bill, those $25 is actually costing you, let's say, $200 down the road per month later. So, you might want to stick with that one. And speaking of the light thing, because I have mentioned this in another videos, I have mentioned that, there is something called light. There was a guy, a guy, he was in the US, and he proved that the reason why we get cancer and we get a lot of diseases, and by the way, this was in the 1930s or 1940s or something like that, is because the energies that we have, meaning our bodies, which are supposed to be waves and particles both, are unbalanced, and then we ended up having too much particles that are interrupting our own frequency. So it's kind of like you having somebody in your house that you do not want. So all you need to do is take that person out. Now, a long time ago, we used to have colloidal silver, which is something that, took all the germs and all of the viruses and all of the things out of our bodies, because all you need is something to kick out the bad things out of your body, and then they will not be able to make you sick or affect you. So colloidal silver was doing a very good job. However, colloidal silver was, an issue, and not everybody can get colloidal silver, and sometimes you will get it in the wrong measurement and stuff, and it was, it was an issue, and it was contaminated, and it was counterfeited, and all of those things. So the guy decided to do the research, and then he found out that you don't even need to keep them out. You can actually just make them disappear. Now, how do you make disappear something like cancer or something like a virus or bacteria or a parasite? And the thing is that you use the same principle that I just told you. Energy equals energy. Energy cannot disappear. It can just transfer or it can just crash with one another and then they will overlap. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you apply sound that is specific for a certain parasite, you can make it disappear from your entire body. And every time that you have cancer, we have different kinds of sounds or waves inside of our body. So all we need is to find out what exactly is the frequency of that thing that we have inside our body. And then you apply sound, and then the frequency will cancel each other, and that way the cancer will be gone. Now, he took I think the number is 29 or 39 or 29. I can't remember. But he took 29 patients that were terminally ill with cancer. They all had 1 month or less to live because they have all kinds of metastases. Like, it was insane, the amount of metastases that they had. No amount of medicine known at that time could have killed the cancer inside of them and make them good again or whatever. So he did that. He took all of them, and he measured the energy waves for each organ, and then he applied sound that was the contrary frequency of that one. And 1 week later, all of the patients were feeling okay. 6 months later, all 100% of the patients were completely cured from the cancer. All of them. They had no side effects, no nothing. And he proved it. And then he was able to ask for a pool of volunteers that had even other diseases and stuff like that, and he was able to prove it again. Only the second time, the first time the doctors around them, including the doctors in the Association for Doctors for the United States, they just told him that he was crazy, and they dismissed all of the data. They decided to side with the medicine, even though the ratio for surviving cancer with these patients were not even half in some cases, especially if they were terminally ill. So, this guy didn't give up. He just decided to make some machinery. That one, some people got ahead of that machinery. And they were able to, cure certain things in your own house and stuff like that. And then, he was discredited, and a lot of people went ballistic on him because of that. Because, I think that he even got his license revoked and all of that. However, here's the deal. And here is why you probably didn't want to drink the coffee, but rather something like a tea. I have a question. How many people do you know that have gone bankrupt because they are sick? And I'm not going to talk about things that are like an accident, because let's say that you had a car accident. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sick like cancer, leukemia, AIDS, depression, stuff like that. And how many people do you know that they have lost someone, like somebody in their family died because they had these issues? And maybe even yourself, maybe you had a family member that was, dead because of these situations. So I have a question. How much money will you pay to have all of that diseases gone within, let's say, between 1 to 10 treatments? No side effects whatsoever. And I'm not talking about the right machine. I'm talking about something that is way, way, and I do mean way beyond that one. See, the right machinery was actually further developed into something else. And it has been hidden from the public and from the insurance companies because making people ill is something that, somebody has to pay for it. So either you pay for it or the insurance companies pay for it. But the point is that you need people to keep being sick because otherwise you cannot sell medicine. Now, I'm not against medicine per se. I'm just saying that we don't need to go bankrupt and we don't need to take medicine for a lot of things that can be cured in a different kind of way. And then you're like, what? Okay, so sit down and I want you to answer me a question. Did you ever see the movie called Elysium? If you haven't, I will recommend that you pause this video and go watch it. And I do mean go watch it. I am not going to be a critic movie review or anything like that. I just want you to watch that movie. And I want you to think about all the implications of that movie. And then you're like, but that is a science fiction movie. No, it's not. So if you haven't watched this movie, then stop this video because I'm going to do comments that will be spoilers. Because I'm going to tell you right now a lot of things that will probably shock you. And then you are going to probably be very angry about it. So, ready? Okay, spoilers. I already told you. In this movie, there are people and then there are citizens. The citizens basically are people who are considered worthy of being healthy. And the rest is not considered because they don't have money. So in this movie, there are beds in which rich people just sit there and lay there, and if they have cancer, they can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 sessions or something like that, and then the cancer is gone. Radiation is gone. So even if you went to a nuclear war or whatever, you could still have everything back entirely. And as a side effect for this bed using, let's say that you are now 80 years old or 75 or something like that. How much money will you pay to get, your body exactly the way it was when you were 20 or 25? How much money will that be worth to you? And I do mean exactly. And I don't mean, when I was 20, I was fat and I was, I was fat and I had whatever. Oh, no. I'm talking like a 20-year-old version of you that could go into a movie and could drop the jaws of everyone who looked at you because you are going to be strong, and everything that is completely normal about being young. So how much money will that be worth to you? Because, there are people right now who use this technology to create these beds, and the beds will have the side effect of turning back time in your body. So basically, the same principle that I just told you, that we are waves, and the way that waves work inside our body is that every time that we have emotions that are supposed to be moving, but they keep being stuck there because we hold grudges or whatever, or we have toxins in our body or whatever. They become particles. These particles create a space. The space makes us fat. It also makes us look older. It also gives us other kinds of problems, including metabolisms and circulatory problems. Now, what happens if this space is, again, just a space and it is not a blockage? What happens if you remove through light and you remove through sound all of those things? What will happen is that immediately you will see that the body will regenerate itself because we are filled with waves of energy. I have said that before like 1,000 times over. We are energy, and then every time that we move, we become an emotion. And when we have an emotion that is so strong and then we keep it there, it's not moving anymore, and so it stops being an emotion, and then it becomes like a disease thing. So it's insane. The point is that they have kept this technology for only rich people, and they have not allowed anyone having access to these beds, even though that they have been patented, and now the patents have been freed because they have been so long. Because when you go and patent something, the patent will work for you, 50 years or 70 years or whatever years, depending upon the device or whatever. But the point is that now the device is free of the patent. That means that this thing has been working for several decades, and they have kept it only for the rich people. And God knows how many kids have died of cancer when they have these beds that could have just saved them. I don't care how much it is. It's sure as hell, it's sure as hell cheaper than having your kid, die of cancer or something like that. And is also something that, let's say that your grandfather, how much money will you pay to get your grandfather or your grandmother back with the body that they had before, so that now they can hold your kids or they can hold you? How much is that? And more importantly, do you know that if this was something that was given to the public, we will have right now more wisdom. We will have more emotional support. We will have so much more things that are that are so important for everyone's growth and everyone's development. And right now, let's say, God forbid, that if there is a nuclear war or whatever, and then you are contaminated with radiation, having these beds or understanding how light works will fix your body and will save you and will save everybody who is going through radiation things. So, what is it with these people? Why are we not being told, that this technology works? And it was proven by several doctors. And you can do your own research about the patents and about how this thing works. So, now, I have another question. What do you think the implications of this bed, that has been used by, rich people to get the body back from when they were, let's say you were 80 something, and you want to go just be 30 something again. All you need is a few sessions of this thing, and then you get your body back. And if you're rich, you buy a new identity, whatever. What, it's amazing how, if this was available for other people, what will you do? I mean, what will other people do? Do you think that this is a bad thing? That everybody can use this? Or how about if we regulate it so that if you have a kid, a 5-year-old kid who is dying, and they can save their life with this thing, do you think that it should be regulated or what? But the point is that the technology exists and now is patent free. So I am assuming that very soon it will be mainstream. Very soon. I do not know, how soon. But I am assuming that a lot of other, all rich people will probably be able to get it. And then some rich people are actually aware of the fact that this machine can save kids. So I'm guessing that they will blow the whistle about this one, and then they will make it so that kids can be saved. Because, it's one thing about, this thing not being able to help everyone. Because I understand not everybody will have the money to pay for it. But I have a question. If you go into a cancer treatment, regular cancer treatment right now, costs you, let's say, $300,000. But this machine can cure that in let's say 4 or 5 sessions. I don't know, because I don't know the specifications. But let's say that each session of that thing will cost you, let's say $80,000, or let's say $50,000. That's cheaper. And not only cheaper, but it won't have the side effect. And not only that, but you will get a younger body and a stronger body. Wouldn't you prefer this one? Now, pharmaceutical companies are not going to disappear, because if you have a headache, you're not going to go to this machine, because you just have a headache. So you will still need regular medicine, and you will still need emergency medicine, and you will still need a lot of services. And for all I know, this whole thing will make people spend even more money on certain things and medicines and stuff. But the point is that, I don't know why I think differently. But if I was in a pharmaceutical company and I understood that this thing was available, as soon as it was available, I would have shifted all of my production towards this machinery, and then put it in every single hospital that I can think of or whatever, because making this machinery takes time and is very, very, very expensive. And not only that, but, I could have made all kinds of money from all the new pills that all the other people are going to need. Because the money is not energy from people being sick is not going to disappear. We will still get sick. We'll still get headache. We will still have, I don't know, period pain, whatever. It's not like, okay, with this bed we are going to be pain-free forever. Yeah, that doesn't happen. So, it's just that a shift in the market. And insurance companies will have to charge way less money than before. Because now, everybody can afford their own medicine for pain. And if you're going to get in this machinery, they will probably make some sort of deal with the government, and then everybody will kind of win in a whole situation. Of course, the thing is that the money will be spent into a lot of people instead of, being a couple of people. If only 5 people know about these beds in the entire planet, then it's only 5 people. So it's going to be very, very, very expensive, because if, you might need to buy one bed just for you. And then you will need to hire somebody to operate it and stuff like that, and it will be even way more expensive than whatever. But why not, just make it mainstream? And by the way, this is happening. It will be mainstream one way or another very soon. I don't know how soon, but I am assuming that I'm going to be able to, see it. I'm going to be able to see it. And I am assuming that by that time, if my daughter or my grandkids or anyone that I know have problems, they will be able to use it, and they will be able to save themselves, and they will be able to do a lot of things. So there are a lot of things that we don't understand about our own bodies. We don't understand elementals. We don't understand light. We don't understand sound. We don't understand anything. And I do mean anything. It's like we think we know maybe 1% of the things that we know. Yeah, that's not even, let's say, 0.000% of the actual information that there is out there about us. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful, and if it was, you can share it with other people. You can buy me a coffee, and thank you for watching. And if you want to join the group, the links and the information is down below.